Okay, Ms. Tavleen Singh, you're saying this is an investigation which is being watched up by the media, aided by the police. But there are certain evidences which are available on the record. This woman was badly bruised. That's something which is available on record as evidence. She'd been beaten up. There are injury marks on her. There's also her original confession. Now, a lot of people would say that there is an original confession. We've seen in the Nitish Katara case, the Jessica Lal case, that the rich and the powerful have bent the law to suit them. Witnesses have been bought out in previous cases, and unless that's highlighted by the media, the case just dies a natural death and truth might not come out. So there is a certain space and a certain scope in a certain case for a certain amount of media activism without indulging in any speculation, but at least raising the pertinent questions, asking why did Shiney Ahuja confess, why did this woman level the allegations. Those are fair questions for the simple reason that there have been several cases in the past where investigations have been botched up to benefit the rich and the powerful.
Rahul, you're doing it again. Okay, we don't know if he confessed. What he said was, what he admitted to, as far as I know, is consensual sex, which is quite a different thing to rape, right? The maid is now saying, and there's been lots of people who've said that she was a big fan of his and she was quite glamorized by him. Maybe she got the job because she wanted to have sex with him. Have you thought about that? Have you interviewed the maid? Why has nobody interviewed the maid? I find that too much where journalists are being used by the police to actually not do enough of their own investigation. The police, we're making life very easy for the police because we aren't asking the right questions, and we take what the police tell us as God's truth, as the gospel. And we report that as if it, somebody is already guilty before they've had a chance to claim to make their case. This is very worrying. And, we really need introspection in the media.
Okay. Ms. Purnima Advani, respond to this. The fact that maybe she was star-stricken, maybe she took up that job because she wanted to get close to Shiney Ahuja, and maybe he is actually being victimized. It's almost as if everybody assumes that because she's poor, she's leveling these allegations, the truth must be with her.
Look, as I said, both the possibilities do exist, and it's important for the court of law to ascertain and distinguish the truth from falsity. Having said that, I would find it very difficult to accept that a woman would level a false charge of rape because it is her own status that is at. Oftentimes, if a woman has to say that she is raped, she is looked down upon by society. It's difficult for her to move out. Whereas a rapist is able to move out here and there every time. I'm making a general statement. And therefore to say that, well, this was just because she was fascinated by Mr. Ahuja, I would find it very difficult to digest that. But I would be able to accept that much later she has been bought over because ours is a poverty-ridden country. It's not impossible. As I said, both the positions are not an impossibility, and therefore it's extremely important that the trial court must play its role. Also, as you have said, there were bruises. Why were there bruises? I mean, these are things which are on record. This is part of medical record, and it's important for the court to take every piece of evidence into account. So it's complicated, but I think in such matters it is important that every evidence should be there. There should be speedy justice, because the longer the investigation goes on, we know of cases where hostile witnesses are not an impossibility.
Okay, Mr. Mukesh, but the question that Purnima Advani raises is important. In a society like India, she says it is highly unlikely that a woman will go about leveling allegations of rape unless they were true, because that will really tarnish her entire life. It will become that much tougher for her to step out, live a normal life. So she wouldn't do this unless there was a serious case riding behind it.
Yeah, I beg to differ from her completely. Do you know that about 6 months back, there was a news about a daughter going to the police station and filing a complaint against her own father. Mind you, own father, not stepfather, for rape. And later on, the police on investigation found out that she did that to spite her father because the father was not allowing her to go out with her boyfriend. So, when a daughter can accuse a father for rape just because she does not want, she is not allowed to go to meet her boyfriend, what are you talking about? The world has changed. The woman is not any more an underdog as what it was some years back. Today, women can do things what you can't even imagine. So which world are we talking about?